how are you guys doing? I am Teacher Prix and I want to help you talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime in English. Let's see who has joined. Hi Will, how are you doing? Let's see, more people joining. Oh, greetings from Peru. Hi, Mohammed. Nice to see you again. Hello, Manuel. How are you doing? More people are joining. This is so exciting. I feel so happy to be here and in another live video with you guys. We're gonna chat about many things today. Hello, Adriano. How are you doing? I recognize the names of many of you guys. It's so nice that you're joining again. Hi, Aline. Hi, Karim. I don't know how to say your name, but hi. Hello, Luciano. How are you? Hi, Josué from Salvador, Bahia. Is it hot in Bahia? Because here in São Paulo, it's cold. It's gonna be a cold weekend here. Hi, Justin Salazar. How are you? Hi, Francisco. Hi from Mexico. I'm in Brazil. Hi. Did you guys have a good week? I hope so. I had a wonderful, busy week. Luciano says he's great. Hi, I'm Mano. How are you? Hi, Jaime. Nice to see you again. Let me share the link to the live video here on Facebook so that more people can join. Hi, Eddie. How are you? Aline, I am Brazilian. How about you? Where are you from? Oh, Recife. And what's your name? I'm saying hi to Recife. I just don't know your name. Valmir. Hi, Valmir. Today's subject is prepositions. Oh, you just arrived home, Will? That's great. Where do I post this? Oh, here. Hey guys, I'm live. I'm just posting this on Facebook because some people do not know how to get the link to the live video. So I'm just posting this. Yes, I'm done. Awesome. It's live. More people are joining. I'm so excited for today's video. It's gonna be fun. Hopefully my computer won't update. Seriously, guys, every week, I don't know what's going on with this computer, but it's updating every week. It's unbelievable. Jesus. And I'm gonna take a look at YouTube so that I can see the messages because the messages pop up here on my cell phone very quickly. Oh, Aline, it's the first time you see me, so welcome. Welcome to my channel. I hope you subscribe and I hope to see you every week. Every Fridays I make live videos for you guys. Adriano is saying that this subject is very tricky. Yes, it is very tricky. But one thing I want to tell you guys is that today, yes, Mohammed, it's Windows 10 and I'm not happy about it. It updates like every 5 minutes, you know, like, I don't know what's going on. Unbelievable. Yes, it is horrible. But I don't know how to use other operating systems, so this is the one. Anyways, in this video, I'm not going to give you rules, okay? I won't be explaining this, and let me say why. Because I made a video that will come up really soon here on the channel about rules and explanations about prepositions. What I'm going to do in this video is to give useful ideas, useful tips to help you study the prepositions, okay? So that's the idea of this video. Today I'm going to show you 3 tips to help you study the prepositions more effectively. Tell me, guys, do you have problems with prepositions? Tell me, who has problems with prepositions? This was actually a question from one of you guys. Let me read the name here because it's a bit of a difficult name. The person who asked this question was Jamsheer Ali. This person sent me a message on Facebook and this person asked me, hey, I'm saying person because I don't know if it's a he or if it's a she. Okay, so let me know if you watch this video. Tell me if it's he or she and if I pronounced your name correctly. So this person asked me to talk a little bit more about prepositions. Okay, Yes, Alan is saying you can speak English fluently and prepositions will always be your dilemma. Yes, prepositions is constant work because there's always something new for you to learn. I totally agree with you. And that's why I'm going to show you some useful ideas to help you study, to help you save time and study these prepositions more efficiently. Okay? One thing that I wanted to say, and I wanted to say in this live video, is thank you because we are 10,000 people, 10,000 subscribers. I am so happy. I wanted to say super thank you for being part of this big family of English students. I'm so happy that we reached this goal. I told you guys in the beginning of the year, I'm not sure if everyone here in the live video followed me since the beginning of this year, but that's something I asked you guys. I asked you to help me share the videos, invite people, and we got it. So I'm very excited, and I wanted to ask you, what more do you want to see in the channel? What videos you want to see in the channel? So I would love to see your suggestions. You can leave the suggestions here during the live video. You can post on Facebook, send me messages. Many of you send me messages. Sometimes it's hard for me to reply all of them, but I promise you I read all of them. Okay, yes, definitely, Mohammed. We can get so many more students, and I count on you. Share the videos, invite your friends to participate and be part of this family. So hopefully we will get even more and more people to join us here in the live video. So if you have suggestions, you can always count on me. Hi, Tom. Thanks for subscribing. So if you have questions or video suggestions, please give me your suggestions, because when I say I'm putting them in the list, I really am. I really am taking notes, and many videos that I will post this month will be from suggestions of you guys. Okay? Yes, Jaime, I am creating more podcasts. As the website is still new, I am making some... we're fixing some bugs, and that's why, for example, this week I couldn't post a podcast because we had some glitches, some bugs, and my team is fixing it. But I'm preparing the podcast. You should see more. You should see more podcasts really soon. Okay. Now, introducing the topic, I already said we are going to talk about 3 study tips, how to study prepositions. Hi, Aimano. I'm not sure how to tell you how many prepositions are there in English. I've never really sat down to count. Hi, Mariam from Egypt. Thanks for joining. I have never really counted how many prepositions we have in English. I know that there are many, but I don't think the importance here is the number, but the quality. Okay, one thing that I always tell my students is quantity is not as important as quality. Okay, sometimes the students, they get books of learn 100 phrasal verbs in 1 month. The relevance is not 100 phrasal verbs, but how many phrasal verbs you actually use when you are having conversations. So I think here in terms of prepositions is how many prepositions you effectively understand and you effectively use. Because one thing I will talk about here in this video is sometimes you already know the rules. You know, you have the explanations, you read the explanations so many times, but when you are going to speak, you make the mistakes again. So there are things we can do to help reduce how often we make these mistakes, even though we know the rules, okay? So Jamsheer Ali asked me this question. Jamsheer, I'm not sure I am pronouncing your name correctly, so I am sorry if I am mispronouncing your name, okay? But here we go. Tip number 1. And guys, you will see that the tips, they are very simple, but I promise you, they are very effective. This is something that I have been doing, and it's working for me, and for some people I know as well. So I believe this is gonna help you too, okay? Now, my first tip is verbs plus preposition association. Now, a good way to study, I'm looking at my computer because I took some notes so that I make sure that I don't forget anything I want to say, because I think these things are very important. So guys, a good way to study prepositions is to study the verbs. Now, I'm not talking about any verb, okay? Like, oh, go online, Google a list of verbs and study the prepositions. No, I want you to start with what you already know. Verbs you already know, verbs you use on a regular basis, verbs you are always using either when you're speaking or when you are writing. These are the verbs you are going to look up in the dictionary and check if they have specific prepositions. Now, I am not talking about phrasal verbs, okay? Phrasal verbs are completely different. They have different meanings. I am talking about specific verbs, simple verbs, that have specific prepositions when you are going to use them, okay? This is a very good way. We'll get there. I'm Mano, all right? We will get there. This is a good way to start because you will start with an advantage. You already know the verb, you know the meaning, you know how to use it, but sometimes you confuse the preposition. By studying preposition this way, you already have something that is very important, which is the verb. And the verb will allow you, will permit you to create situations, create phrases that will help you memorize and understand this preposition more easily. Okay? And one thing that students worry so much is about specific individual prepositions, in, on, at, for, but they sometimes ignore the verbs that are used with these prepositions. So this is a very good way for you to save time and study specific verbs that require prepositions. And I'm talking about very simple verbs. For example, there is a verb that students have a tendency to confuse the preposition. For example, the verb depend. Depend on. Many students will say depend off. Now, in a conversation, if you were talking to a native speaker, they will understand you, no problems. However, it's not correct. We needed to try to find ways to fix that. Now, you know the verb depend. Now, you learned, you saw that the preposition is on. So that is a verb that you can include in your list and start studying that verb. I will give you more ideas to help you study this. But by making associations, it'll be easier for your brain to learn these prepositions, okay? Because if you just take them individually, because there are many prepositions, it gets harder to really memorize them, okay? So the idea here is to study, to start your studies with things that you already know, okay? I see that many people are giving examples, are asking me to talk about the difference between phrasal verbs and prepositions and verbs with prepositions. Basically, guys, in a nutshell, and I have a verb. Hi, Bader, how are you? I have a video that talks about phrasal verbs. And when you have a phrasal verbs, you have these prepositions usually change the meaning of the verb. You know the verb as one translation, as one meaning, but when you have this preposition, the meaning changes most of the times. Okay, not in this tip. In this tip, I'm just talking about the correct preposition, which is a specific one, which is a fixed preposition. Okay, it doesn't change the meaning of the verb. Okay, so by making this association, popular verb plus preposition, you will make fewer mistakes, and that's the goal here, to work with things that you already have. Okay, and that's how you are going to learn. Now you may be wondering, okay, Priscilla, I will check the verbs that I already know, but how do I know if I am using the right preposition or not? This is a good question. And you know, the thing that I do, for example, when I am studying a new verb and I don't know what preposition I should use, I go online. I use English to English dictionaries. I will leave some suggestions here. When I finish the video, as I always tell you guys, I'm making this live video with my cell phone. So when I finish the video, I will go in the description section and I will leave a summary of the main tips that I gave you in this video, and also the links to good dictionaries you can use to help you do this exercise. So once you know what verbs you want to study and study the prepositions from these verbs, you can go online and you can go to an online dictionary and you can type this verb and you will see the most common prepositions. Again, I'm not talking about phrasal verbs, I'm talking about the prepositions you should use. And not just the prepositions, you will see examples. Okay, so let's think about a very simple verb, to talk. You can talk to. In very informal situations, you talk with. More and more people are saying with. If you go to dictionaries, they even give you the option of using the preposition with. So you can talk to, you can talk with, or you can talk about a subject. And in the online, in English to English dictionaries, no, it's not. It's actually very far away, Jaime. Jaime is saying he's talking about a dog. Oh, man. Mohammed, I know you're asking me to speak faster, but that's not the goal. Okay, one thing that I always tell my students is the speed is never the goal. The goal is fluency. Okay, so I'm sorry if I'm speaking too slowly. But there are other people who are watching, and I think I have to go on a slower pace so that everyone catches up. But all in all, I feel very comfortable speaking in this speed. Again, speed is not the main goal here. But thank you for your suggestion. So, as I was saying, you will see examples of the verb being used in real examples of contextualized examples. So you will see the correct preposition being used with that verb. So it'll be easier for you to learn. And again, it's with verbs that you know, you are familiar with. And believe me, sometimes the students know the verb. They know what the verb is. They use these verbs all the time. But they never remember the preposition because they never really focus on the preposition. They focus on the verb. Okay, and consequently it's natural that we are going to make mistakes. Okay, very well. Another thing you can do, I was talking a lot about verbs, but you can also do this with adjectives. Okay, and with the adjectives, remember, adjective is like a quality. All right, like I'm giving a quality to something or to someone. A nice teacher, a friendly dog. So in this case, you can also do this because adjectives also have specific prepositions. I am interested in music. This is my interest. I am interested in music. The adjective interested has a specific preposition, in. Okay, so you can also do this exercise, this tip number 1, with adjectives, not only verbs. Okay, and you will follow the same idea. Choose adjectives you know. Choose adjectives that are important for you, you use very often. Okay, someone, Josué, said good at. That's perfect. I am good at English. Okay, so use adjectives that are popular, that are common for you, that you use very often. Okay. Yeah, well, I think we were frozen for a second. I think it's back. So by using adjectives and verbs, specific adjectives. Hi Marcelo, how are you doing? Thanks for joining. So by doing this kind of exercise, choosing specific adjectives and choosing specific verbs that you know, you are familiar with, and studying the prepositions you should use, you will improve. I am positive that you will notice improvement, okay? And keep in mind that your list doesn't need to be long. Like, okay, teacher, so I will choose 50 verbs that I know and 100 adjectives that I know, because, just on fire. You don't need to do that. Keep it short, keep it smart, okay? And remember, you can practice a list of verbs and adjectives this week, and then on the following week you can practice another, okay? We have plenty of time, so choose the verbs wisely and keep practicing them, okay? Remember, it's not quantity, it's not quantity, it's quality, okay? Very well. My tip number 2 is something I love to talk about here. Think in English. Yes. Here I want you to think of specific situations that will require prepositions. Okay? If you watch my videos, you know that I am always talking about the importance of context. Josué is making some questions. I see that many of you are asking questions about specific prepositions, okay? Now, in this video, I'm not going to talk about specific prepositions, okay? Because it's very long to make explanations about one preposition and the other, because I'm sure that the more prepositions I explain, the more questions will come. So this is something that I will work on slowly, okay? I am planning more videos about prepositions here on the channel, so stay tuned because I will post videos about this. But we have to start somewhere, and I want to start from the beginning so that we can have a sequence and a history, okay? Now, what do I say about thinking English and why situations? Because when you have situations, when you know what situation you are going to talk about, it's easier for you to understand what kind of vocabulary, what kind of expressions you need. So when you are going to think in English to exercise prepositions, it's important that you have specific situations in your mind. Because if you just sit down and say, oh, okay, I'll think, let's do this, gonna do it, you are not gonna do it because it's hard. Your brain needs directions, objective instructions. I'm gonna think about what? About location. I'm gonna think about food. I'm gonna think about my day. Objective instructions. So if you just sit down, okay, I'll think about prepositions and try to remember the prepositions. In, okay, in what? On what? It's not gonna work. Okay, so you need to sit down, take some time to plan what kind of context you are going to think about, and then you will think about it, okay? Now, there are 3 situations that confuse 99% of English students in terms of preposition, okay? Place, time, and transportation. Okay, and this, I'm not talking about verbs and prepositions, adjectives and prepositions. No, I'm talking about place, I'm talking about time, and I'm talking about transportation. The prepositions we use in these situations, and I am making a video just to talk about these 3 situations, okay? So that's why I'm not going to go into details of explanation of when to use in, when to use on, when to use at. Students confuse this all the time, and it's natural, guys. Okay, and some students, they get so frustrated when they are having a conversation and they misuse a preposition and they say, teacher, I'll never learn this preposition, it's so annoying, I can't remember it. And guys, let me give you a practical idea. In these situations, I see some people are giving examples. Nice, so far I'm looking at them, they're correct. Because these situations can be so confusing, repetition will help you become more confident and make less mistakes. But to do this repetition, I understand that sometimes we don't have so much time to do that. That's why I suggest thinking in English, because this is something you can do when you have 5 minutes at lunch or when you are going home from work. These are the moments when you can think about situations that require prepositions to talk about place, prepositions to talk about time, prepositions to talk about transportation, okay? Now, to do this exercise, it's important that you know the rules, okay? So you need to take a step back and sit down and read the definitions for place, the definitions for time, and transportation. And one thing that also, one mistake that students make here is we have specific expressions for time, for place, and transportation. What do I mean specific expressions? Fixed expressions that we already have a specific preposition. It's not going to be a different one. even though it's a transportation example or a place, it is a specific one. And even in these cases, many English students make mistakes. Okay, so this is a good way for you to start too, by taking a look on these okay, let's see. Alan is giving a suggestion. Tell everything you do in your daily out loud. Questions will come up and you go through it. Let me see here if I can read it because I couldn't finish. Oh, okay. And you will go through it to get to know in order to succeed. Okay, so basically Alan is suggesting you guys that you think about everything you do during your day. Okay, and then there will be questions. That's a great suggestion, Alan, because when you think about everything you do during your day, you will have questions about what kind of words you don't know, what kind of prepositions you are going to need. I go to work, I go at work, I go in work. What's the right preposition? Okay, so this will give you the right questions that you need to ask yourself, because when you have the right questions, when you know what you need to study, it gets easier for you to do the studying, for you to sit down and study what you need. Okay, so many students are still confused. For example, very simple example, in the morning. Many students will say in morning, or many students will say on the morning, and it's in the morning. Okay, so this is one example of a specific expression that many students still get confused about. Okay, so when I say thinking in English, I'm talking about this kind of exercise. You really need to have specific situations. So if you're going to talk about transportation, you can think about the transportations you need to take to go to work. Well, I go to work by car. I am on the bus, and so on. And that's how you will contextualize the situation in your brain. And that way you can do this if you are going to work, you can do this if you are on the bus, you can do this if you are in the car. It's easier, but only if you have the rules clear in your head, if you have really understood the rules. Okay, and let me tell you, the rules per se, they are not difficult. Most students know the rules, they understand the rules. Hi Rosario, how are you doing? Thanks for joining. Most students, they already know the rules. Okay, the problem is to put them into practice, put them to really use them. Okay, now I will be very honest with you. Okay guys, I will be very honest. You will keep making mistakes. There's no such thing as perfection. Okay, it's natural. My goal with this video is to help you make fewer mistakes. Okay, learn specific expressions that we tend to misuse, but I need you to keep in mind that you need repetition. Okay, prepositions can be learned. You can learn prepositions, you can learn the most common situations, but only if you practice. Okay, now tip number 3. I see that many people are asking me different questions, and because I'm focusing on prepositions today, because it was a question from you guys, I'll be answering these questions. Now what I want to ask you, if you have these questions, tag me on Twitter, because if I receive these questions during the week, I can prepare a video just to talk about it here in the live video. Okay, for example, this question of today was asked by Jamsheer Ali on Facebook. I prefer Twitter, but if you don't have Twitter and you prefer Facebook, go there, leave me your question. You can post, you can send me a message. I will read your message and I will prepare the video. All right, because that gives me time to prepare, to come up with a good and complete answer to give you guys. And I see that there are many questions and I really appreciate them, but they are from they are different subjects. Okay, so it'll be very interesting if you can give me these questions during the week, and then I can organize the video, the video class. All right, my Twitter is. As I told you, Bader, there's Facebook. I told you the person I'm answering the question today asked me the question on Facebook. So I prefer there because it's easier for me to find the the questions. For example, on Facebook, many people posted in the comments, posted questions in the comments, and it's more difficult for me to find the questions because I post on Facebook every day, and many people post many comments every day. So sometimes there are questions, but they get lost. Okay, when someone tags me, it's easier for me to see the question. It's not because it's a preference, it's just because it's easier. Okay, but as I told you, you can send me a message on Facebook. When I read the comments on YouTube, the comments that you leave me in the videos, I also take into consideration. I read all the comments and I make videos out of those comments. Many questions that people post in the comments on the videos, I turn them into videos. Okay, so I'm always watching what you guys post to me on all my social media, even Instagram. Okay, because there are some people who make questions there too. All right. So my last tip, my tip number 3 is mind maps. If you are a visual learner, mind maps will help you to study prepositions. Now, I don't know if you watch my videos. I hope so. I hope you watch my videos every week, every video I post. But I recently made a video to talk about 4 types of learners and the best study tips for each type of learner. And visual learner is one type of learner. Okay? And mind maps, what is a mind map, right? What is this? A mind map is a visual representation of something. You make some kind of drawing, you make some kind of connections of information. Okay, and you can use the tip number 1 where I told you to study prepositions with verbs and verbs plus prepositions, adjectives plus prepositions, and organize them into mind maps. And you can separate this into subjects. For example, oh teacher, this week I studied adjectives about feelings, okay, and I saw the prepositions that we use with adjectives of feelings. So you can make a mind map, you can draw. It doesn't have to be a perfect drawing, okay? And you can grab a piece of paper and you can make the connections. You can write down all the feelings that you studied, all the prepositions you should use, or you can do a different mind map with adjectives that use the preposition of. And then you can make all the associations you can write. You can draw meanings that will help you remember. Okay, so that's how you can use mind maps to help you study the prepositions, the verbs plus prepositions that you are learning, the adjectives plus prepositions that you are learning. Okay, so this is a great way to combine the ideas and turn them into a more productive exercise. Okay, the mind map is a very good idea. If you want to know more about visual learners, at the end of the video I will leave in the descriptions. Okay, I will leave the link to this video in the descriptions, but it's a very recent video I made, so I'm sure many of you have watched. Okay, now guys, to finish up this part, there is no shortcut. Okay, there's no quick way to master prepositions. If I have to be very honest with you, I'm always studying prepositions because I make mistakes too. I'm pretty sure that during this video I made mistakes because I'm a non-native speaker. Even though I'm a teacher and I'm always studying, I'm always practicing, prepositions is something that you can always learn something new. Okay, there's always something new for you to learn. All right, so my recommendation is never stop adding words to your list. I have my list, I have my verb list, my adjective list, and this list is always growing because there are so many words. Someone asked me, oh, can you give me a number of prepositions? I can't, I don't have this number, but I am sure that it's a huge number because there are many words, okay? There are many different prepositions and many different ways to use prepositions, okay? I see that many of you are giving me video suggestions. I really like the suggestions. Don't forget to post because after the video is over, I don't see any of this chat, okay? So all the suggestions of videos that you are giving me now, I will lose them, All right, that's why I'm asking you to go to my other social media and post your questions, because then I will answer them. Whether you post on Facebook, whether you post on Twitter, whether you post on Instagram, I will always answer the questions. Sometimes I get emails with questions. So if I don't talk about them in the live video, I will talk about them on the Tuesdays and Thursdays videos. By the way, I didn't post a video yesterday because I had a technical issue. I lost the Tuesday video, and so I used the Thursday video on Tuesday, which was posted on Wednesday. And on Thursday I didn't have a video. I was so sad. I worked all day on Tuesday to edit the video, but it didn't work out. So on Wednesday morning, I was like, man, I gotta post a video. So I used the Thursday video. But for next week, you should get the videos on Tuesday and Thursday and the live video. So I'm just reinforcing here, if you have a specific question, don't forget to post your question to me on Facebook or on Instagram or on Twitter. Just saying I prefer Twitter, but you can post it on the 3 other ones, and then I'll make sure to turn this into a video. All right? Guys, that is all for today, okay? I hope these 3 ideas can help you better organize yourself to study prepositions, because I think that for everything in English, we need to develop the best strategies to study. Because if we just sit down and start writing prepositions, we're not really learning the prepositions, okay? It's just like when we are watching a movie, and that may improve our listening, but if you were just sitting down and watching, that doesn't necessarily improve your vocabulary, for example, because you're just watching and listening. Your listening will improve quite considerably, but not necessarily your vocabulary. So there are specific exercises to work on several different aspects of the language. And I think these 3 tips will help you improve your use of prepositions, okay? Start with what you know, and you will get better at prepositions, all right? Very well, guys. I kept it sweet. I kept it short. Oh, I have one thing to say to someone who left me a question on Twitter. I just need to remember her name to explain to her why I did not answer her question, because her name is a little bit difficult. Tanisha, I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna send you a message here on Twitter. I'm gonna tag you after this. I saw that you asked me a question that whenever you are trying to talk, the words, they fly, as you said, and you can't remember the words. I'm not answering this question today because I believe I already answered this question on my last week's video when I'm talking about speaking anxiety and the importance of preparation. So I talk about that in that video. So I would ask you to watch that video. I will post the link to you. I will share the link to you. I just wanted to tell you this in this video. And if that doesn't help you, if you feel like you still need more help and you need a better explanation, let me know. And then probably on the following week, I will talk about that during the live video again. I'll think of other things, other strategies to give you. All right? Very well, guys. That is gonna be all for today. I hope you enjoyed these tips. And please share this video with your friends. Invite your friends to watch these videos every week, every Friday at 8:30 p.m. Brazil time, okay? Thank you so much for being here with me. 40 minutes of listening to English, learning more techniques to improve your English. And remember, the best lesson of the night is quality is better than quantity, okay? So thank you so much for being here with me. Have a wonderful weekend, all right? Everyone that has joined, have a wonderful weekend. And come back later because I will update the descriptions, because I can't really do that right now, but as soon as I finish the video, I will update the description, and I will leave the links to dictionaries. And oh, it's 1 a.m. in Egypt. Oh my God, thank you for joining. It's so early and you were here. That's great. and I will leave a summary of what I told you guys in this video, okay? So that is all for tonight. And have a good night. Thank you so much, guys. Bye-bye.